All right.
Here's the thing to remember about Summer League. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he takes a game off. They said it was for precautionary reasons, and they expect him to play on Wednesday. It doesn't matter that he didn't have a good shooting night in his debut. Summer League does not matter. We have seen players who have had kind of crummy summer leagues go on to have great all-star NBA careers. We've had guys who have had great summer leagues fizzle out in the NBA. Victor Wembanyama got dunked on in his first summer league. He shot 2 of 13. Dalton Neck, the Lakers' other big, a shooter, a guy we expect to be a shooter this year. He went 3 for 12 in his first summer league.
By the way,
game.
he's now 6 for 25 in his 2 games.
Yeah.
So he's not exactly lighting it up either. Go ahead.
But the thing to remember about summer league is it doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter to me about the knee. It doesn't matter to me about his shooting numbers. The only purpose of summer league is to get these guys the experience of playing at this level. This was the first time that Bronny played for these coaches. New teammates, new schemes. And also, by the way, he hadn't played since March. So the idea that this kid, the numbers should be the thing we judge him by, to me, I don't understand that. The only thing we need to judge him on is the stuff that we see that doesn't come up in the box score.
Oh, it matters because he doesn't have a resume worth who he actually is. That's why it matters. Everybody already knew who Wembanyama was and what he was capable of. And better believe that the Spurs weren't telling Wembanyama, we want you to give it all, go as hard as you can and do everything. They were like, no, let's just get your legs from underneath you and get you kind of going up and down the court a little bit. So to compare it to like a Wembanyama or some of these other players, that falls on deaf ears. I mean, that's like gaslighting. The media has been gaslighting about Bronny James to just next level, but this is also, I don't think Rachel's doing this on purpose, but it's just not accurate, right? Like, people are saying that Bronny James is not here because of nepotism, or if it is here, it's like, it's okay, and he'll prove that he's good enough, this, that. So he's held under this microscope. If we want to say that a player like a LeBron James is allowed to help get his son and get him money and get him drafted and all this type of stuff, if we're saying that that's okay to do in a society, which, by the way, I think is wrong, but let's say we're saying that it's okay, that it's right, well, then better believe you're going to be held under a microscope and be scrutinized for everything you do. I don't know who needs to hear this, but who told you that you're supposed to just get every single thing you've ever wanted in your life and have all the luxuries, have all the legs up, and have no repercussions? Have no drawbacks at all. No criticism, no nothing. Bronny James is allowed to just get drafted with a subpar college resume, make money, get guaranteed, get all these opportunities, and have no scrutiny, no criticism, no extra eyes on him. Like, what are we talking about? Then LeBron even wants to comment and say, like, oh, it's crazy that people are saying these things about Bronny. It's like, bro, you brought this onto him. You brought this onto himself. Who said that you're allowed to be one of the greatest basketball players of all time, get your son in the NBA, make a big deal about it, and then act like it's not okay that fans are going to be talking about it? Like, that's this whole thing that drives me crazy. And ESPN gaslighted everyone with Bronny James, which I'm going to show in a second, but I want to see what Skip has to say. And then I have a couple clips lined up that I want to show you all.
Okay. I'm going to go back and start with the knee. This was pretty surprising to me, because if you say there's some swelling, I don't know how much knee issue you had when you were playing. But,
I mean, I had some swelling here and there.
Okay. Well,
all the wear and tear.
I've had way too much experience with bad knees, and if you have swelling, you have some issue going on that's not simple or minor or whatever. And I was a little surprised that they said there was some swelling. I'm having to take whatever they said. And then but he should be fine by Wednesday. Well, if you got some swelling, I don't think you're going to be fine by Wednesday. It could be an ongoing issue for a little while, depending on what it is or why it is, because I watched every dribble of the game, and there wasn't a play where I was like, he stumbled or got in an awkward spot or a precarious situation or whatever. That didn't happen. He played his, whatever it was, 22 minutes, and he looked like he was moving pretty well. So I don't know what's going on with that, but now we're back to how did he look? And I do agree with you. I liked his attitude because he wasn't bashful about shooting the ball. there were times when he hesitated a little bit, like, should I? And then once he went. And by the second half, he was really getting into the flow of it. And I do think, as we talked about, defensively, he's going to be pretty to very good. That's going to be his trademark, and that's going to be his early way to make it into some serious minutes that will matter for the big league team when he plays for the real Lakers. But this is what's going to happen to the son of LeBron James. I'm watching the internet, and he's getting ridiculed for getting his ankles broken on a play. And I think we have it. It's fairly early.
Of course we have it.
Yeah, we got it, I think. They said they were going to find it. 6:30 left in the first quarter. And I'm not sure he got his ankles broken on that. I think he got bumped. And again, that's that Adonis Arms who just took this game over. He got a little bumped and he stumbled. He lost his balance for a second, but got his ankles broken. I don't think that's getting your ankles broken.
No, he was there. He cut him off, but he used his form to kind of push him off and put him off balance a little bit. But if he would have tried to continue to go to the cup, Bronny was in position.
I thought he was too.
Yeah.
Agreed. So he's up against an Adonis Arms who, again, lit it up the other day. He had 12 of 17 shots. He scored 32 points because he's an older player. He's been around. He's bounced all around the G League, and he knows how to play.
What do you say? It's probably his 12th summer playing.
It feels like it is because he got a late start, high school to college, and then he bounced around college.
Okay, they're getting off track now here. The point that I really want to drive home is that isn't it crazy that we all have to pretend like Bronny did anything, right? Like that to me is the issue, that ESPN put Bronny all over the site and used words like drains first points, Bronny nasty move for second bucket in summer league game, and it's just like unbelievable. And then the story that they had, the main headline on ESPN was, Bronny felt comfortable in his, first outing. And then they had to change it to took in the atmosphere because him being comfortable, scoring 4 points, going 2 for 9 is not good at all. He had the worst plus minus of the day, and they want to say that he felt comfortable. It's like, I'm sure they got ripped for that, so they quickly changed it to took in the atmosphere because that sounds that sounds better. But like, this is his nasty move, okay? Nasty, they say.
G League affiliate.
He has the ball now.
Bronny.
Nasty, look at that. Look at this. Nasty.
Bronny. 17-footer, perfect.
This is literally what anyone who plays basketball can do, okay? Whether you're 7 feet or 5 feet. They do this when you're 12 years old. I mean, as he got the ball, he stopped, went behind the back, a behind the back type dribble, and shot the ball. Like, what are we talking about? Like, nasty. It's just like such extreme language. And then for his first bucket, it was he drains it. Bronny drains his first bucket.
Bronny James with his first points.
Here.
Base college
He
stats
drains
for a
it.
reason to draft someone or not.
That's a great
Has
point.
anyone ever actually spoke like this?
That's
Look at that
a really
layup.
nice
Has
penetration.
anyone
Good job.
ever said they drained a layup? I've been playing basketball like my entire life. I've never heard anyone make a layup and they say, "Wow, you drained that. You drained that layup." Like, it's just like, what ESPN interns do they have like writing these titles and these stories? Like, it's just so insane to me. And then we look at the box score, and again, Bronny has plus minus 15, right? 2 for 9, 0 for 3 from 3. And I don't want to like even rip him too much because it is just one game. But this is the problem that people have. He played arguably the worst in this entire game for the Lakers, at least, right? Maybe even in the game as a whole, for just the game as a whole. And yet all the focus was on Bronny. And it's not like Bronny was a number 1 overall pick, right? Like, he was drafted in the 50s here. So the reality is that if he wasn't Bronny, there would be no attention on him. There would be no articles written about him. And that is the problem that people have. And then again, the media and ESPN and all of this, they want to gaslight everyone and say, you know, how dare you criticize him, or how dare you say these things? And it's like, what do you want us to do? We see with our eyes that this is not that impressive. Whether he becomes impressive one day or not, this is not that impressive. You're trying to shove it down our throats and shove it in our faces in it. Tell us that this is a drained shot, nasty move. You know, he was so comfortable. And you're like, well, what are we talking about right now? Right? Like the average fan is going to see that and be like, what? And so then they are going to put in the comments and they are going to make fun of him, or they are going to say, whatever, this is dumb, this is absurd, this is nepotism. And then to have it then come back and say, like, how dare you make those statements? Like, I just take such issue with that. And again, I don't even want to harp on Bronny too much, but it's just like, that's what you get. That's what you're forced to do. Because like I said, if this was any other player, we wouldn't talking about it. And so if your comeback is, well, this is Bronny James, of course we're talking about it. Okay, well then we're going to have to be honest about it. It wasn't a good game. He didn't do a nasty move. He didn't drain his first bucket. Like, he shot a couple out of control shots. Like, even his layup looked awkward. Like, he actually looked like one of those guys who's like not very good at basketball, right? Like, they don't look natural. They make things look harder. Even his layup looked more difficult. And I know he's obviously going to be a good basketball player, whether he's NBA ready, but he's still obviously going to, you know, relatively speaking, if we just take pros out of it, like, he's obviously a top basketball player, right? Like, he is indeed LeBron James' son, but like, he doesn't look smooth. Like, it looks kind of clunky and not, you know, comfortable. So again, if you're forcing us to talk about him and we have to talk about him like he's something, well, then we're going to be honest about what we see. And the vast majority of people trust what they see. Go watch highlights of like a Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, whatever. They make everything look easy and effortless. That's not what Bronny James looks like. He looks like he's playing like rec ball, and he's obviously pretty good playing rec, but it just like looks different. It just hits a little different. Those layups just feel a little weird out of his hand, and the way he like steps and shoots, you're like, this guy's good, but like, it's just different. Like, you're not surprised. Oh, that guy, you know, he didn't make varsity. I get it. Oh yeah, he only played D2, D3, not D1. Yeah, that makes sense. He's good. He's big. He's strong. He's fast. He can ball out, but like, yeah, he's not that dude. And they're trying to tell us that he is that dude. And that's, again, that is the fundamental issue of all of this. If he wasn't Bronny James, nobody would be talking about this. And we're living in a time right now where we want things to be earned. We feel as fans that we had to earn every little thing we've ever done in our lives. And when we see someone like Bronny get this and it doesn't feel earned, well, then you're going to get a negative reaction. And it's just not right to gaslight everyone and say, I can't believe you're reacting like this. And then like LeBron James then makes a comment, which only fans the Flames more. He says, Bronny James doesn't care about the critics and the noise. Well, okay. Tell me what 19-year-old kid doesn't care about the critics. LeBron James, you're mega wealthy. You're billionaire status. You're one of the greatest, if not the greatest player of all time. And we know damn well that you care about the fans and you care about all the noise. And now you're going to tell us that your 19-year-old son, or however old he is, doesn't care? It's just more lies and gaslighting. And it's only going to fan the Flames to have more fans come after him. So the whole thing is just nonsense to me. I just don't understand, you know, why there's just always the gaslighting and the lying and the shell game and the misdirection and trying to act like something is bigger than it is, or trying to act like something is smaller than it really is. Like, it's just, we could just never just get an honest evaluation and presentation of what we're seeing. And the truth is that fans are not dumb. They may have crazy opinions. We may have extreme opinions. We may be uneducated in certain aspects, but we're not dumb with what we see, right? We can't be lied to or manipulated in that regard anymore. Once upon a time when it was like the 50s and the 60s and people were reading newspapers and you didn't get to see the games, so we trusted the sports writers to tell us how nasty that play was and how dirty that basket was and this and that. Sure, we really needed them. But now we have eyes. Now we have a million angles of a million different highlights. Now we can watch a play again and again and again. And now we can hear millions of people share their views on it that also influence our views. So in a lot of ways, we get closer and closer to the truth. And it's just something that the media, and especially ESPN, is struggling with. And I just wish that all they would have to do is just present the truth, the honesty, just an honest, clear representation of what we're seeing. Have the courage to say, Bronny James did not play good in his opening view. If we're going to talk about how amazing it is and this, that, and celebrate the moment, then talk about it just honestly, well, yeah, he didn't play that good. And it's not like a boo-hoo, we got to be positive, this, that. The dude got paid like $8 million and his dad's LeBron James. He wasn't born on third base. He was literally born in the penthouse owning the team, okay? So it's just like there is no sympathy here, right? We don't have to baby these people. We can be honest with what we're seeing. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Bronny James dropping 4 points in his Summer League debut? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.